This week on Unfuck My Startup, we brought in the closer's closer, Kevin Dorsey, the guy who's built and scaled sales orgs to hundreds of millions in revenue, to show us what's working in outbound sales today.
This is what's getting lost, y'all. I'm gonna call y'all on this. This is what's getting lost in sales, is like we've lost that human side of things. We've lost that element of like, hey, let me help you. And then when someone does, we're polite about it. So I will, like, those are things I pay attention to, of like the human side of selling. We've lost a little bit.
Right? Yeah, well, I mean, that to me is like one of the best things about this. Like, if I'm a seller, I kind of want to know if I'm slipping, but not when I'm practicing.
But I only power dial. I do not parallel dial. And I'm very strict against that with my team. They power dial. They do not parallel dial. They are calling one-to-one each time. And the beauty of power dialing is it takes the thinking out of making the dial.
And by the way, you look at the retention of this show, it's 7 minutes past half hour. There wasn't a single person that dropped at 30 minutes. Why? Because everybody wants to know this. Kevin Dorsey's coming. You are going to get the sickest sales intel ever once he comes. But we're going to start the show how we always start the show, so it's no big deal. We're going to start the show with the pitch slap segment. So let's go over the rules of the pitch slap. Okay, so Creighton, you got 2 minutes to pitch your startup to the entire 422 person audience right now, which is growing by the second. We're going to run a survey, probably like a minute and a half in. Buy or no, yes or no with buy. Over 66%, you get a swag box. Over 33%, you get a t-shirt. Under 33%, you get sent home with a pat on the back. And then we're going to book you demos from the audience. In our record booking demos, what's our record, Pete?
I think it's like we got 20 something for somebody. So, I mean, that's a good couple of SDRs weeks right there. So
yeah, 20 something demos. I mean, who's booking 20 something demos these days?
Not me. Sure, not me.
Yeah, nobody on my team.
Yeah, shoot, dude, we should pitch on our own show. We're like, we completely missed that.
I know. We should be talking about what we're building, but we refuse to.
We'll get there. At the halfway mark, I'll drop a little promo. But Creighton runs audience.io. I dropped the link right here into the chat. Everyone can pull up audience.io. As I usually do, I'm going to share my screen for just a second so everyone can see this nice website. Creighton, whenever you're ready, my friend.
All right.
What are you working on?
Perfect. Yeah. So this was, did not know I was going to get called up from the bench. So we're going to do the best we can. We built a software platform that captures first-party data. And so that would be anything from the pop-up on your website to a sweepstakes that you want to run. Maybe it's a survey, a quiz, or a poll. We got in about 10 years ago with some big media companies. So NBC, Fox, iHeartRadio. And we found out pretty quick that they couldn't, like compliance reasons, just use a bunch of different tools. They needed one like on-brand compliant system for all things data capture. So we went like full steam ahead on that. And we built tools that honestly collect every piece of data for them. So anything like what I was saying before, it started out as a sweepstakes company, and then we had to build a full-blown survey platform, and then polls and quizzes and UGC. And there's even groups like ESPN that use us for like March Madness brackets and that kind of stuff. So our platform, though, the pitch here would be, if you truly want to own your audience and know who they are, having them in a bunch of segmented tools and a bunch of different silos isn't going to cut it. Like, you need to get all of that data into one place. And usually where it gets messy is because you're capturing it in 10 different platforms. And so that's where we bring it all together. So audience.io is one platform for all things data capture and engagement, and can work on WordPress, Shopify. It doesn't really matter what your site's built on.
And real quick, can you just give us like 2 or 3 examples? You gave them already, but like, how's a startup like what is it, polls and surveys and like whatever
Yeah.
else? Like,
Yeah, because I mean, there has to be that like value, like transaction for first party data. So like for you guys, it's like, hey, we're going to give you this amazing content. In return, we'd ask for your name, your email, your company, your title. Where are you going to post that? How are you going to build it? Is it going to be on brand? And is it most importantly going to be tied to the database, the tools that you guys already use, HubSpot, et cetera? So that's where we came in. Is there's so many different one-off like quiz companies and polls companies and sweepstakes where we just brought it all together into one system.
got it. How's it priced? Last thing.
Yeah, so it's priced based on the traffic that you see to your site. And so for a smaller company that's just starting up, we're just looking at it of like, all right, how big's your company? How many people are going to hit this pop-up, this contest, et cetera? And so it grows with you. But
Okay,
it's a monthly price. Yep.
sweet. All
Fast.
right,
Well,
rock on.
29 people said yes.
Sweet.
Heck yeah.
We're like 3 minutes after we asked, and people are still saying demo.
Yeah.
Maybe the pitch just took a while to sink in, Creighton. It's like, you know what? I actually do want first party data from my website.
Yeah, you have to own your own audience, man. You can't, yeah. You know, hey, imagine if we could have like known we were going to pitch today and it would have been even better. So
Yeah,
but
you would have. Yeah, you would have
take
showed.
it, man. We'll take
Yeah.
it. Happy to come to the bench. Thanks for
Dude,
putting me on, coach.
rock and roll. Well, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for participating in the Pitch Lab segment. And yeah, the best news of that entire time, we got you demos, but Kevin
Sweet.
Dorsey showed up. Everybody was worried.
I
We were
was
sitting on the edge of our seat. We got 455. Is that a
oh,
6? We got 465 live bodies, every one of them teed up to figure out how the fuck do I make this sales thing work, bro?
well, I don't know. I'm here to find out too. You know, I was hoping you could just tell
Oh
me
no,
how to
we were
do it.
relying on you.
Oh, this is the double catfish. This is bad. Like, you know, the good old fashioned double catfish where it's like you
Yeah.
lied and I lied and now we're here and we can't be mad about it. So let's see how this plays out.
All right. Well, let's give you a little bit of an intro here. We got Kevin Dorsey on. If you haven't seen him on LinkedIn, he's the chief revenue officer at Finally and a veteran who has scaled sales teams at, is this a recently IPO company, Service Titan? Did they recently IPO? Is that right? Recently IPO'd Service Titan, Patient Pop, Bench. He has grown several teams above several hundred salespeople, several hundred million of ARR. He's gone from beginning to full scale. All about building elite sales teams. Kevin Dorsey, could not be more excited about having you on.
Dude, I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. Trust me, I was sweating too. You know, there were storms in Austin and storms in Denver, and it's raining. So I'm like running through the rain, trying to get to the hotel room. But no, I'm pumped to be here, man. I appreciate you having me.
Dude, and thanks for hustling to get here. I mean, we luckily we had that first segment to sort of bide our time or whatever, but we're all here now. We're happy, and let's get into it. Pete, what are we talking about first?
So, Kevin, something, by the way, KD, you like going by KD. So I'm going to stop calling you Kevin because, yeah.
I mean, Kevin is my name, so it's okay. It's just
That's a good point.
At this point when I'm in trouble, you know, it's like if I go too far, that like if you say, "Hey, now Kevin," then I know I went too far and I can pull back whatever I was talking about there. So now we're on the same page. We're good.
There we go. Well, you can call me Peter at any time. I'll just think it's my mom or dad. But so something we love talking about on this show because things move so quickly, especially the world of sales, marketing, B2B SaaS. And especially in recent times, we've just seen sales change incredibly fast. So as a CRO, you're in charge of an entire sales motion, right? From the people prospecting to closing. So I really just want to start off by diving into what is working right now for Finally. And maybe we start at the top of the funnel with your SDRs. Are there certain things that they're doing nowadays that maybe you weren't quite doing at Service Titan and Patient Pop?
So actually it's the opposite. They are doing less of what I did in the past with Patient Pop and Service Titan and Bench. So my SDRs are 100% phone based. They're 100% phone based.
All right.
They are booking anywhere from 17 to 25. My tops are in the high 20s demos per month over the phone only. Whereas historically, my SDRs were running the full plays themselves. They were emailing, they were socialing, they were calling, they were videoing, they were doing all the steps. My SDRs are 100% phone based. now, and we handle the other channels for them, right? We handle the email for them. We handle the social for them. And that's actually the shift. So it's not even necessarily doing things that I didn't do. It's actually doing less of the things I did in the past and focusing on the one area that really, I think, separates most good sales dev orgs from the rest is, can they pick up the phone? Can they get somebody on, and can they have a good conversation? I've been saying this for years, man. Like, if all you're doing is sending templated emails, I don't need an SDR. I don't need it. If all you're doing is sending
Great
template
point.
emails, I can do that already by myself, right? And so that's the shift, man. Is my SDRs are 100% phone based, 100%.
This is very old school of you in a very great way. So I want to break up these two sections. By the way, you got some love in the chat for going 100%
Yeah.
phone based.
By the way, audience, who else is phone based here? We got anybody else using the phones?
Mhm.
Boom, boom.
All right.
People loving the phones.
It's
I have
there.
I have a question about this. So, do you think I have a couple questions actually? Do you think that what's your ACV for who they're calling?
I have three different sales orgs, but the ACV for my outbound org is in like the 10 to 14K ACV. And then I have them a little bit on the up market too. We have a few like 6-figure deals in there.
Yeah. Okay. And then are they US based or is it all
They
over?
are US
Okay.
based. They're all in
So,
office in Boca Raton, Florida.
oh,
Shout out.
heck yeah. So you're making that work, which is interesting because I heard for a while that like HubSpot made it work, but the world's changed. You can't make an outbound sales org work on 20K ACV anymore. That you are 100% declaring that is false.
So here's where everyone, I think, gets that wrong. It's a simple math equation. It actually has nothing to do with ACV and everything to do with SDR volume, right? So for example, I had a 100% outbound team at Snack Nation. Snack Nation sold snacks in a box, which is what I wanted to call it, by the way. I'm still jealous that we went, like, we should have been snack in the box. It would have been,
Yeah.
it would
It's
have been
so good.
like, see, look, marketers, you get it. Like,
Yeah, I know.
the box, we would have so much fun with that. I digress.
Well,
But
I want to start a company called Lulu Lime.
oh God, I'm in. I'm in. Hit my phone up.
Yoga for dudes.
Yes. So, but now here's what it was. The ACV at Snack Nation was $4,200,
Yeah.
but my SDRs were booking 45 appointments a month. So it has nothing to do with ACV. It has everything to do with SDR or pipeline volume, right? If all you can do is produce 15 opportunities per month, then yeah, you need a 20, 25K ACV as the floor. But if you're doing 15 and my SDRs are doing 30, I can quite literally cut my ACV in half and it
Yeah.
still works. So it's just a math equation. Most people got so caught on the ACV side that they never ran the full math of like, well, no, like how much does it have to produce to be successful?
Do you think the low ACV is intimidating to salespeople and sales leaders? That
Yeah, it's not easy to do. You have
Yeah.
to get a lot. You cannot do a low ACV outbound and only book 10 meetings a month. You can't. Like you cannot do that, right? So that's where you have to focus. Okay. But if you can do more than that, like hell yeah, like absolutely.
So I wanted, so you, they're all calling people in office. I think that was a big change too when COVID happened. A lot of people went remote. That mobile, I mean, our iPhones are so freaking good at screening out spam calls. It's amazing. Well, not amazing for a sales team trying to call mobile numbers, but for everybody else. So you're still routing through the office, which is great. Are there specific tools? I want to talk about the email stack that you're running for them. But let's talk about the phone side. Are you using like phone burner or any of these dialers to help increase their output?
Yes. So actually we have two different dialers. Actually, we're testing right now, kind of comparing the metrics behind them. So like I don't want to announce the winner yet, but we're testing two right now. But they are both power dialers, but I only power dial. I do not parallel dial. And I am very strict against that with my team. They power dial, they do not parallel dial. They are calling one-to-one each time. And the beauty of power dialing is it takes the thinking out of making the dial, because the hard part that I think people, the mental drain it takes to choose to make 200 dials is a lot. To choose to pick up, that's very draining. Whereas if you know it's just going to work through your list, People answer, great, but you know who's going to answer. You have the conversation, move on to the next one. So yes, so we use a power dialer right now. We provide the leads and the research to the SDRs, right? So we have a lead enrichment process and system that we put into place there. And on the email side, similarly, it's like if people are responding or engaging, things along those natures. But yes, we use a power dialer. They average anywhere from 150 to 200 dials per day. Our connect rates are in the 12 to 13% range. We're actually working with Titan X right now. Shout out Joey Gilkey. Their lists are in the 20 to 25% connect rate range. And then we track our conversation rate, our conversation conversion rate, all the way through the thing.
Someone just dropped in, why no parallel dialing? I have the same hypothesis as you, by the way, but I want to hear it from the man. So
I always want to be so careful with this because I don't want to like F up people's like world here. But here's the deal.
No, that's what we do. That's
okay,
what we do.
are we in a safe space? Because man, like I just whatever. So here's the deal, and I've tracked this, y'all, across 4 different orgs. I have tried parallel dialers at every single org that I have run because the math sounds so good. If I 3x my dials, if I 5x my dials, I should 5x my meetings. It has never worked, and here's why. For every multiple of dial increase, I've seen the same multiple decrease in conversation and conversation conversion rate. Right? Because when you parallel dial out, almost man, I'm getting so much trouble for this. When you parallel
I
dial,
can say it.
no matter what people tell you, there's a delay. No matter what people tell you, there is a delay. And so when that prospect has to say hello twice, it kills the tone of the opener of that. So they may get you on the second time, but then also your SDR didn't know who was going to answer. And so now they are unprepared for that conversation. So the prospect said, hello, hey, Adam, it's KD over at Finally. How's your Tuesday going, bro? Right.
Yeah.
And so for every multiple up of dial, I saw the same decrease in conversation conversion rate. So it always netted out the same, but then I also felt I was burning leads because it was the conversation conversion rate that drops. And that means they actually got a chance to talk to us, but the opener on it was so bad that it messed up. And yes, you can have the, trust me, I tried the pre-recorded intro. There's no, like, I tried it all. That's why I've tested it. I've gone through it. I am an advocate. I love the power dial. I love taking the thinking out of it. I love that it can go through it, right? But it's latency and like knowing who's going to answer and being prepared for that conversation. Those things drop the conversation conversion rate. Then it makes it not even worth it. And I'm burning leads at that point. I'm burning through the leads. And that's why.
Hey, you know what I love about your practice? It's all data driven. I remember from the first podcast you got me on, I'm like, every single thing that you say is backed up by an experiment you've done. And I really appreciate that because I wish I was more that way. I'm kind of a gut guy.
It's all good. I've grown into the science of it all. I've always loved numbers. I've always loved that because like my whole thing, right, is like numbers don't lie, salespeople do. And so it's like, let me see what the numbers actually tell me. Funny enough, right, y'all, literally in the Uber on the way to the hotel, I'm in a back and forth with my VP of sales development about which dialer is going to win. And I was like, can you confidently state the connect rate was higher here? Yes, the connect rate was higher here. Cool. Did it lead to more conversations? Yes, it led to more conversations. Cool. Did it lead to more meetings? Because if it didn't lead to more meetings, they can fluff up the conversation rate and the connect rate all they want. If they didn't lead to more meetings, no, this one won through and through. Cool. But it was all data. I'm not messing around with gut anymore. Because also, and Adam, you and I have talked about this a little bit in the past. Gut can get you to 5 to 10. Science gets you to 100 to 1 billion. It has to be repeatable. You have to know which levers to pull. You have to know, wait, if my connect rate is 11%, I can get that to 14%. I can hire 4 less SDRs over here and take that 35 Gs and put that into marketing over here. Like to scale to 100 million and 1 billion, you have to have the science side. Gut and hard work can get you to 10, sometimes 20, to be honest. Past that, you got to know what the hell you're doing and you got to be able to scale it.
Yeah, that hits pretty close to home, my man.
Yeah, we've talked. We've talked about it.
I'm feeling pretty stuck at 20. Feeling pretty stuck at 25 right now.
Mm-hmm.
One last thing. Where's the list coming from? Is this? Yeah. And
Yeah, so
who is it, right? Like,
so we use multiple providers to get the list. So we leverage Zoom Info, we leverage Apollo, and then we leverage Titanx with Joey Gilkey. And so we know the industries and titles we want to go after. And so we're going out and getting those. I don't need my SDRs trying to go find those
yeah,
things, right? Like that's a waste of their time. Okay. So we have a whole system there, call it pseudo waterfall, but also because on the phone, you actually don't need as much personalization, funny enough, as you do in email. Email, you need personalization to stand out because you're in an inbox full of everything. On the phone, the personalization is you're talking to a person. Right. So they don't need nearly as much. It's not like I'm opening, like if I were to call you and be like, hey, Adam, KD over at Finally. So like, did you ever ride the mechanical bull at Shooters while you were at Duke? That'd be such a weird opener, like, to do. Whereas in email, that's the stuff that stands out. So they need to know the company, the target, the persona, and the size of the company. That's all they actually need to know when they're calling. Emailing is a whole different ball game that you have to do there, right? So yeah, I lost track of oh yeah, so we provide the leads, we
yeah.
do enrichment, and we're actually continuing to build out. This is where our agents are started. I saw someone ask in the chat like where agentic AI is going to play. This is where we're starting to leverage it on the research side of like that. On the personalization side for emails, we're using it, but like we'll get into this. I'm using more of the AI on like the call scoring side of things than I am on the research side of things.
I love this topic because, like, I think go to market. So this is probably blasphemy too, but like, the reason why I think there's been so much it's like the whole very high volume out of one person, bunch of domains, all that stuff. The reason why that is so prevalent, I believe, is because uh, it's just so much harder to email now that's the only way. The response rate is so low. That's what you have to do, right? And it just literally doesn't make sense for a human being to be doing that anymore. But it's because they've gotten better at stopping the spam, right? But like,
Yeah.
but I think like you hear what AI should do, and the first reaction was like, "Oh, we should have AI doing the stuff that humans were doing before." Whereas I think people I see most excited about AI, it's all related to coaching. Like, let me tell you a story. I got a buddy whose wife literally wanted to divorce him. He started putting his screenshots of his text messages into ChatGPT, told him all about her, told him all about their 4 relationships. She's staying at the house every night again.
Like we could go on
yeah,
we could spend a whole time on this divorce GPT.
yeah, exactly. Divorce GPT. But
Like,
like this thing is a coach to make you. It's like one of the most. I think the most incredible thing about it is it allows you to separate yourself from your heuristics and your fallibility as a human and give you an objective overview of something that just happened.
yeah,
Right.
it's the lack of bias and the lack of call it like personal history there or self-motivation. Like this is I don't want to open up this can of worms, but this is why when people only want to buy from people, it's like no they don't. I know that we've stopped buying from people a long time ago. People want their
Yeah.
problem solved, they want to be heard, they want to be understood, and they want people that can teach them something. I saw someone drop it in the chat a little bit of like, providing value. Okay. Adam, you're a CEO. You've been in the game for a while. Have you ever had an SDR teach you something that you didn't know about yourself, company, or industry?
Probably not.
Ever. Okay. So like this is so when people are talking about like value, right? I have yet to speak to an SDR ever that has taught me something about being a better CRO, about
Yeah.
being a better sales leader. It's almost impossible. It's not fair oftentimes for a lot of SDRs and truthfully a lot of AEs too, where most unfortunately, and this is one of the biggest Ponzi schemes in the world, is most sales reps don't even use the product they sell. So they're not the persona and they don't use it. So how can they provide value? to me.
Yeah.
All they actually can do is ask good questions to make me think a little bit differently and get me into the process. But it's hard. Whereas AI knows everything about the industry. Like if if you aren't using AI with some awesome meta prompts to understand the industry, trends, commonly overlooked situations, questions that don't get asked. What are the top questions about my persona on Reddit, on Quora, on Medium, on Google? Like if you're not using AI to understand the industry and the persona better, you are missing out immensely, right? Immensely, because that's the only place that you have a chance. So it's getting wild, man. It is. And to your point, this is what makes it so hard is you can do the right thing as an individual sending an email, yet you're still buried under 50 emails that weren't done well. Right? Like that's hard, right? To stand out from. This is also funny enough why I'm still a huge proponent of video. Because it's still like the last place for maybe 6 more months where it's like, okay, like a person actually sent this thing, right? Whereas an email is getting harder and harder to pass any sort of test of did a human write that or not. So no, it's getting wild, man. It's getting wild.
I want to make
So
let's do the whole second half of this section about, I want to hear about the AI coaching some more. Let's do all that. Adam, are you going to ask a question before we get into the next
yeah,
segment?
before we go to Unfuck My Startup, the segment, can I just ask you, like, what is the cold call opener script that actually works? Right?
Yes.
Like because like I know I'm sitting here, I'm like, I just don't know what it. I have a hard time imagining something that I would react favorably to because like my thing is like the second I know that it is a pitch, I'm just like, stop. I hate you. You know, whatever.
Yep, I got you. And so I'll give some context here. Back to the data things, I have quite literally split test single words in the script. Team A, I want you using this word. Team B, I want you using this word. Which one has a higher pass-through rate? So I've tracked pass-through rate, opener acceptance, question ask exception, but like we've gone all those. So I give you all some context here. Like this is not me just like throwing out some ideas. These are things I've tested over hundreds of thousands of calls and thousands of reps. So the opener first is like, we'll break this down. The opener starts with you got to take away the first like questions anyone has when you call them, which is who are you? Why are you calling? What the hell do you want? Right. So the opener is very, very straightforward. Hey, Adam, it's KD at Finally. Right. So I'm identifying myself right out the gate from Finally. So I'm taking the first two away. The next you have to answer like the why are you calling? And so actually, I'd be very curious. I'm gonna see if y'all are even paying attention in the chat real quick. Drop a 1 in the chat if you've read Influence by Robert Cialdini. Drop a 1
Oh,
in the chat if you have read
boom.
Influence by Robert Cialdini. All right, well, let's get it changed, right? Because by the way, this is a classic, y'all. This is when people ask, like, is sales an art or a science? It's like, yo, it's both. They've studied this shit. They know what works. So one of the key takeaways in Influence talks about the use of a justifier. When you use a justifier for an ask, people are anywhere from 3 to 4 times more likely to comply with the ask, right? And they study this even with something as offensive as cutting in line, which in America is like the last holy thing that we have. We disagree on politics, on religion, on sports, but lines and orange cones are sacred in America. Like we stand behind these things. You have to give a justifier. So a justifier is like a reason for the call. But I don't do things like, so the reason for my call, like we don't talk that way. So he goes, hey, Adam, this is KD over at Finally. Actually, I was just on your website. There's your justifier. I was just on your website. I was looking at your LinkedIn. I saw your most recent blog. I saw your most recent episode. Like you put some micro justifier, which also builds curiosity. Because now you're going like, well, what did you see on my website? What did you see on my blog? Whatever. So it's like, hey, Adam, this is KD over at Finally. Actually, I was just on your website and I was hoping to ask a couple quick questions to see if it's even worth a larger convo. Would that be okay? Do you got a sec? And so what we're doing there, right? So one, we are using a minimizer. I was hoping to ask a couple quick questions to see if it's even worth, right? So we're actually minimizing the ask, but also continuing to build curiosity of like to see if it's even worth a larger convo. Seeding, I'm seeding there would be a larger convo. And then you're what's called a layered question. Would that be okay? Do you got a set? So a layered question is when you put two questions together where the answer to the second question also answers the first question. Would that be okay? Do you got a sec? by saying yes to you got a sec. You're also saying yes to you can ask the questions. But then lastly, y'all, I want y'all to hear my tone on this. This is the key. This is the key. Hey, Adam, this is KD over at Finally. I was just on your website and I was hoping to ask a couple quick questions to see if it's even worth a larger combo. Would that be okay? Do you got a sec? How would you describe my tone there, Adam?
It is not pushy. It is curious. It is interested. It comes across as trying to like, I could be helpful to you if you were open to it, right?
Mm.
Like, but I'm not jamming this down your throat, right? Like,
So we call it the lost in the city tone. We call it lost in the city, right? Where it's like, hey, like if you were lost, and actually, you know what's hilarious, by the way, dude, Adam, we're gonna date ourselves there. I was teaching this one of my SDR classes a couple months ago, and they're like, how do you get lost in the city? These kids have always had a goddamn phone.
yeah, that is so funny, right?
They've never been lost in a city. Like, I need to come up with a new tone, right? And so it's like, hey, like, you know, it's this like, hey, I'm lost. I'm looking for some help. Don't know if you can help me. Let's see. It's a pull tone versus a push tone. A push tone is, hey, Adams, KD over at Finally. I know this is a cold call and you weren't expecting my call, but you have 27 seconds to see why I'm calling you today.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck off. Like, no, right? So that tone pulls people in. And then I saw someone put it in here. And then I'll push back on this. You know, they're like, well, is it a bait and switch if it's a sales call? No, because literally what I said I was going to do, I'm going to do. I was hoping to ask some questions to see if it's even worth a larger convo. Would that be okay? Do you got a sec? Right? That intro should have anywhere from a 50 to 60% take rate, right? 50 to 60% of people is like, I mean, okay, maybe, right? And well, I mean, Tracy, you got to ask Adam and Pete if we're going to turn this into a cold calling lecture or not. I can go down this whole thing.
Yeah,
right?
no, this is what we want to know.
Okay, cool.
Everybody
So
wants to start using the phones. We
let's
want to
go.
go as deep as possible. Yeah.
Let's go.
Dude,
All right.
and by the way, you look at the retention of this show, it's 7 minutes past half hour. There wasn't a single person that dropped at 30 minutes. Why? Because everybody wants to know this.
All right, let's get into
Who wants to know? Audience, tell us if
Let's
you want KD to keep going deeper.
into the song. So there's a few places this will go. Okay, people are with me here. People are with
Boom,
me.
boom, 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 boom.
So that intro should be anywhere from a 50 to 60% take rate. So to be very clear, are people still going to hang up on you on a cold call? Yes. Are people still like, of course, right? But that intro, what I want you to think about is if they said no to that, what were they going to say yes to? First of all, if you nailed the tone, permission-based, double minimizer with a layered question and a curiosity builder, what were they going to say yes to? So I'm okay with a no there, right? I'm okay with a no there. But if they say no, someone nailed it. The first thing is like, because remember, they're saying no to, you got a sec. Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. When would a better time be to talk? Oh, my bad. We do a quick fold, right? Oh, my bad. When would a better time be to talk? You'll be shocked how many people to that will go, well, I'm sorry, what is this call about? Oh, I'm back in here. Like we're gonna stay in the flow. Versus if they say, no, I'm busy. Don't ever call me again. I hate you. All right, that's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
But if they say, no, I don't. Okay, when's a better time to talk? Either they're gonna give you a time, they're gonna kick you off the phone forever, or they're gonna ask you, I'm sorry, what is this call about? And that's gonna flow to the same question. So the next question in this, whether they say yes or what is this about, is the bucket question that I teach. So the bucket question, right, is we got to lead with the problem. So the bucket question, actually, I'm going to put y'all on the spot real quick. If you're still with me in the chat, put in the chat the top 2 to 3 problems your product solves. Put it in the chat for me real quick. What are the top 2 to 3 problems your product solves? Drop it in the chat for me. Y'all didn't know y'all are going to have to participate in this. I don't do webinars. I do workshops. Let's go.
We're on the same page with that, KD.
Saves time, customer onboarding time, help founders, finding partners, measure impact. Hi, track their
Hi, Raja.
AML risk, coaching and training, recruiting time, labor costs, save money, security, predictable costs, team connections, IT solutions, get out of the house, stop working from home, software development, morale, recognition. We'll let this ride a little bit longer, but 90% of you failed this. Most of these aren't problems. Most of these are not problems. Most of these are benefits. Save time, make modernization, increase conversions, increase revenue, save on overhead, morale, identify. All those are benefits. Okay. So when you are cold calling, it has to be 100% problem based. And now y'all are starting to get it. Failed payments. Stop your team from tearing each other apart. Let's not hate on Nickelback because Nickelback was a jam. I don't care what you say. Okay. Slow takeoffs. Like you see the shift here. Customer churn. Stop over. Now y'all are getting it. So the next part that you come in from this is when someone says yes, or what do you do? It sounds like this. Well, I speak with blank all day. So the first blank there is the persona. I speak with CEOs. I speak with CROs. I speak with like I speak with persona all day. They all seem to be struggling with blank, blank, blank. And Jennifer, I'm going to come back to that, by the way, on training the personality. You'll be shocked. We actually do this. Not my personality, but the tone. Okay. Okay. So, hey, Adam, I speak with CEOs all day. They all seem to be struggling with high shipping costs, overpaying for maintenance services, high customer churn. Does that sound like your world at all? Or do you got that all figured out right now? Okay. So let me break down the psychology behind this. Okay. So first, I speak with blank all day. Micro social proof. Speak with blank all day. Speak with people like you. Second, they all seem to be struggling with, they all seem to be dealing with, they all seem to be stuck with. What this does here is it makes it safe to admit you have a problem. Because no one wants to be, if I call Pete out of the blue and I say, so Pete, what are the biggest challenges facing your business right now? You're like, what? Like, I don't know you. I'm not going to tell you that. Versus I speak with CEOs all day long. They all seem to be struggling with blank, blank, and blank. So what we're doing here by throwing out the suggestion. So I learned this from Sharon Pearson. It's my favorite course of all time on influence. Sharon Pearson, Ultimate Influence. She's out of Australia. Just a monster in terms of that psychology that she leverages, but she calls it the illusion of choice, where it's like, they all seem to be struggling with this, and you're just kind of throwing it out. Like, does that sound like your world at all? Or like y'all already got that totally buttoned up? And that's where we have the alternative of choice with a blow up. The blow up is like, most people don't have the perfect version of this. So they're doing this, right? So what this does on here, and also shout out Sam McKenna. If y'all don't follow Sam McKenna online.
Ooh, Sam McKenna. We've had her on a couple times.
Okay.
It's real good.
Because I love Sam McKenna, but also forever will have a slight grudge against her because she just nailed the show me you know me, and I wish I would have thought of it earlier. Right? But the show me you know me concept is so genius because when I say to Adam, they're dealing with churn rates, they're stuck, the sales are only coming from them, right? And it's like right there. And funny enough, y'all, I just made that up. What was Adam doing when I was saying those things? I don't know if y'all caught it. What was Adam doing when I was saying those things? It's the subliminal,
yeah.
It's showing
shaking my head.
Right. So that question, what you're getting in one question is agreement to a problem. Right. Agreement to a problem. Like, are you seeing those things too, or you already got that tightened up? Because also before anyone jumps in, it's like, well, what if they do have it all tightened up? Then what do you have to sell them? First of all, if they don't have the problems you solve, there is nothing to sell. But then secondarily, okay, if they have solved it, you get to ask how. How did you solve it? Right? So that intro, right? You do the intro, then you ask the bucket question. The bucket question gets us into a problem. Then from a problem, we're going the enlightenment. Oh, tell me a little bit more about that. What are you seeing? And then most important, what is that causing for you? What is that causing? right? Like, is it causing long hours? Is it causing slow? Are you at a ceiling? Like, what's that causing for you right now? So now in 4 questions on a cold call. So back to the person that was like, oh, it's a bait and switch. Nah, homie, it's not a bait and switch. Look at where we're at now. Okay. I got permission to ask my questions. What have I done? I've asked some questions to see whether it's worth it. And then we wrap it with what we call the might make sense. It's like, well, Adam, this might make sense. You're dealing with blank, just causing blank. And wait, y'all, listen for my pitch. Y'all ready? You paying attention for my pitch for my product? We solve that. Whoa. We solve that. I mean, it's at least worth another conversation. And then y'all listen. This is one of the most important words on a cold call. Let's get some time together next week to dive in a little bit further. How does Thursday or Friday look for you?
Killer. This I just poking those pain points so they admit, and then literally your solution is nothing about even benefits, even on your pitch. It's just we solve all of those things you just agreed that you have.
Oh, right. So Adam,
Incredible.
I don't know. It's because I love you. I have a template for this. I'll share it with you. You can share it with the audience, right? We could drop in the chat now for the people that made it live.
Yeah, drop it in the chat now. Drop it in the chat now.
1 second.
Who wants it? So give us in the chat if you want that whole template.
This is a template.
We're getting a lot of yeses from a lot of people that are interested in it.
All right, hold on, y'all. We're doing
and
this.
Katie, while you're doing that, we do a section called Unfuck My Startup. And what we've been doing is, so in the beginning, you came in for our pitch slap. That's when someone pitches the audience. What we like to do during this next section is have somebody come up who is facing a problem in the sphere of sort of your expertise. So if audience, are there any of you out there who are trying to do phone outbound? And we already have one person saying yes, who are trying to do outbound on the phone, but you cannot make it work. Again, this is not the time to pitch your business. This is the time to get advice because, well, for lack of a better term, you want Katie in the panel to unfuck your sales. So let's pull. We got a few people. Vadim, did you want to pitch? Because I know you do invalid phone numbers. Maybe you want to come up next week to pitch. Okay, cool. Let's do that, and then we're gonna have let's grab. Okay, perfect. Let's grab Michael over here. Michael Liss is going to come up. Who's having some issues with his pitch. But while we're pulling Michael up, folks, this segment now and for the foreseeable future is actually sponsored. It's brought to you by our B2B Insiders. Okay, that is our new community. So if you're a B2B founder somewhere on your journey from a few hundred K to 10 million ARR, our B2B Insiders is the community for you. We do a bunch of stuff in there. We do a live event every Friday. We got a bunch of courses. We actually have an Adam bot now that was trained on over 1 million words of Adam's learnings. And really, most of all, this is a community so you can interact with people just like you, get feedback from founders who are doing the exact same thing. So we're not just going to straight up sell you. We want to give you some stuff. So Katie is all about building great sales teams. We have a lesson in our 1 to 10 million secrets course. It's all about how to build a great team. So hop over to insiders.rbdb.com. You'll get free courses and check out that lesson 4 of the 1 to 10 million 1 to 10 million secrets course. Also, if you just want to drop insiders into the chat and have me reach out, you can do that as well. And I believe at this point,
so I'm gonna do this real quick though, Pete, just while we're on it. I want to say you're welcome to Eric and Peter and Tom and Jonathan, because this is also one of the things that I just want to call out of like the human side of selling. We've lost a little bit, right? Like we've come here, Adam asked to drop this. I say, you know what? F it. We'll drop it. I put something in there for all of y'all to go and get. There's 400 people on here, and there's 4 you're welcomes. This is what's getting lost, y'all. I'm gonna call y'all on this. This is what's getting lost in sales is like we've lost that human side of things. We've lost that element of like, hey, let me help you. And then when someone does, we're polite about it. So I will like those are things I pay attention to. I pay attention to that. Y'all are on a free webinar with Adam and Pete and myself. And it's like, oh, we just took this thing. Like, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it.
We appreciate that. Now you're getting a bunch of thank yous after
Yeah,
calling
right.
people
But
out.
this is also, but we know this in relationships when you got to ask for it.
The
Right.
king of influence over here,
Mhm.
steering the conversation how he wants. And Katie, I also want to say too, when you're going through your pitch, and I want people to know this, especially if people haven't done a lot of phone sales, I mean, I'm sure you have countless examples of two people saying the exact same words and some person producing, I don't know, 4x what the other person is.
Mhm.
And it's
Yep.
that tone, even when you slip in and out of your pitch, that tone is there. And that's
So
it.
Jennifer asked this about like training the personality. We practice the tone. Everyone can read. We practice the tone. So when my reps are in a room doing hundreds of repetitions, we're listening to the tone. When we're using AI role play, we're listening to the tone. Did they nail Lost in the City? Did they nail a downtown? Did they nail the pizza dough? Did they nail the Scooby Doo? Like all these are named tones. That's what we are practicing, right? Because everyone says scripts, make me sound robotic. And it's like, no, a script doesn't sound anything. Like everyone here has seen a movie, watched a TV show, listened to a song on the radio. They were all scripted. It's our job to make it come alive. So this is what we practice the tone. No, Pete, that was too monotone. Let's try it again. No. Okay, I need an uptone here. No. Like we practice this. So it is something, y'all, where we take this shit seriously.
And can I ask you something? Do you think that an AI scorecard can evaluate a tone successfully?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
We're already doing it.
Yeah, well, I mean that to me is like one of the best things about this. Like if I'm a seller, I kind of want to know if I'm slipping, but not when I'm practicing. You know what I mean? Like I want to know, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and that is like an incredible deal that you can just like have that thing there,
Well,
kind of nudging you back on the rails or whatever, right?
someone asked it in the chat, right? Like when we talk about the wiggle, right? The wiggle, WGLL, stands for what good looks like. Like we've defined what a good tone is. Until you define it, AI can't help you. AI can't help you until you've defined the wiggle, right? Whereas like I want the tonality, it should sound calm but curious, insightful, almost unsure, but not scared. We call it the lost in the city because it's something, if you were asking for help, because by using an ask for help tonality, you're more likely to pull help in. It should be a slow cadence that pulls people versus pushes people. When I can describe that tonality, it can listen and it can tell whether or not it's doing what it's supposed to do.
But you don't think the robot can actually do it yet?
Oh
It gets you in trouble again.
Oh man. So actually, I'll just say this. So I know Michael's sitting in the waiting room right now, like, yo, like help me with my business. Okay, here's the deal. For outbound, no, for two reasons. One, it's almost three. One, just first legality. Legality wise, like you cannot just cold call with an AI, but like legally, you just can't. Like you will get into trouble. Secondarily, you have to identify if you were. And so if you identify and it's like, hey Adam, this is KD. I'm the AI cold caller over at Fight. You're like deuces.
Boom.
Like, right? Because as much as people are mean to salespeople, they are way worse to AI. It's wild, right? Like this is why like bird scooters never took off, because we can't be trusted with these things. Once we know something's unsupervised, we're throwing it into the lake. So as soon as it's identified there, it's a problem, right? And so those are there. But in terms of tonality, it is, y'all, it's almost there. It's almost there. I listened to a tool last week that I think can do the entire inbound process today.
All right.
Like today. and it's only gonna get better. So
Yeah.
sorry, Michael, we have totally wasted your time. I apologize. Maybe this is why they didn't let me chat with the entire chat, because like, Katie, you're not gonna stay on topic here. I'm sorry, my dude.
It's all good. I appreciate you being here and all the tips in any case. Um, so I mean, the first thing to mention is I don't really do much calling. I haven't really had a lot of success with it, but I'm also realizing from all of this that I don't think I was doing it right. So would appreciate any advice and feedback that you can provide.
Yeah. So I think the biggest advice I can provide on the phone is one, you do need to know your numbers, right? Where it's like you have to do a certain amount of it for it to work. Like if you only make 40 calls and connect rates are 5%, you're only going to talk to 2 people in the day. And so a lot of times people actually just aren't doing enough of it. So that's the first. It's like, we got to make sure we put enough into it to go there. The second is kind of what we covered is when cold calling, it's all about the problems your prospects are facing, and you need to be able to suggest those problems. Are you seeing blank? Are you seeing, like, is that ring a bell at all? The best analogy I can give, Michael, are you in a relationship at all?
Yep.
Okay. So then, if you went to your partner tonight and said, hey, what do you want to do for dinner? And you just throw, what's going to happen? If I say, hey, Michael, what do you want to do for dinner tonight? What are you going to say?
Probably get it. I don't know, something non-specific back.
I don't know. What sounds good to you? And then it's a
Right.
never ending back and forth until you go get leftovers out of the fridge. Whereas when you suggest, hey, babe, what do you want to do for dinner tonight? We could go grab sushi. There's that new Italian spot we haven't been to. And we could always just, order in something. Like, what sounds good? When you throw those out, you're going to get an answer to it. So that's why leading with the problems to your prospect of like, so what do you sell, Michael?
So yeah, and that was something that I was going to ask, because I was going to ask, is calling and the success of calling possibly dependent on the ICP and their persona? Because I'm selling to a very senior ICP, like in very large top 100 retail companies who are like VPs. They're making a lot of money. They don't really have time to waste, and they probably get cold calls a lot. And they don't really bother with it. The type of people who have like someone managing their calendar and whatnot, and so it's a small pool of people to potentially sell to, small pool of leads. And so each one's quite valuable. And so I don't want to also like piss people. I've gotten a couple negative reactions, and from that I got scared.
Yeah. So that's like, if you shot a basketball and missed it, saying I'm never going to shoot again because I missed. Like part of cold calling is you're going to have rejections, and we can't let the 80% take us away from the 20%. But the more specialized you're going after, the more specialized your outreach would be. I'd be leaning in heavy on video for you. Heavy on video.
Okay,
Right?
interesting.
Because video also, like we could have gone this way today too. Video allows you to control your tone. Video allows you to be a person, but also video stands out. So actually, Adam, Pete, I'm curious from y'all, real just off the cuff, how many cold emails do y'all get per week? Let's just throw this out. How many cold emails do y'all get per week? Pete,
I
Adam,
mean, yeah, 100 more, 200, like a
right?
crazy amount. Yeah.
Okay. How many in-mails do you get?
A fair amount still.
Yeah.
I mean, a
I
lot.
can't even count them at this point.
Right?
Yeah.
How many cold calls do you get per day?
I try to
none.
block everybody. So
Okay.
I mean, a lot. Yeah.
Right. So now, first, I want y'all to notice we went from hundreds to, well, maybe 5 to 10 per day, right? Like it drops.
Mhm.
How many personalized videos do you get per month, Adam?
Some, but very few.
Okay.
Even if I don't watch them, I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Throw a number. How many
Yeah.
per month?
Yeah. Maybe like 3. I don't know.
Y'all picking up what I'm putting down here? Hundreds of cold emails per week, hundreds of in-mails per month, 3 videos per month. Right. So the more specialized the persona, the more specialized your outreach should be. So video, the beauty of video is it also allows, I'm sorry, Aaron, I'm dude, they're never gonna bring me back. I'm gonna give it all the sauce away. Okay. Like video is also multi-channel. You can send video via email. You can send video via LinkedIn. If it's an inbound lead, you can send it via text, right? Now here, I'm going to give you all the bonus tip on video that most people get wrong on this is most people send a video and expect a response. Wrong. That is not the point of a video email. The point of a video email is to get watched. Video emails are not built for response. They're built for watching. And so people send a video and like, oh, no one responded to me. That's not the point of a video email, right? So this is one. Okay, send it and not expect a response. Your job's to call them after they've watched it. But second, here's the juicy tip I'll give y'all as we wrap. You send it until it gets watched. Most people send a video once and let it be. I send it until you watch it. Send it once, you didn't watch it, no response. Guess what you're getting in a few days? The same video with some different body copy. Guess what you're getting 4 to 5 days later? The same video with different body copy. So if I have a 20% click-through rate, and then a 15% click-through rate, and a 10% click-through rate, and a 5% click-through rate, I am now getting 50% of my videos being watched. So then guess who I'm calling, Michael? Who's at the top of my list for my calls? I'm gonna make you
That's
answer.
awesome.
Right? Like
The
you're calling the
the
people.
one who watched the video. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So
Then you're set up. You're primed. That's perfect. That's awesome.
So there you go, y'all. All right, we are right
Thank you.
at time there, but I hope that
If
helped.
if there is a play to run right now, if you're like, I want to take one play, an actionable play away from this call, that's the one. Michael, thank you for coming up, my friend. That's the one. Katie, I'm shocked that my inbox isn't flooded with videos yet. I started sending videos years ago, and I'm stunned. I've sent a few dozen out, maybe more. I don't know. I've gotten one in my life.
Yeah. It's wild.
Crazy.
Like y'all, like even for like my side stuff, if I'm trying to generate business, I take a weekend, I send 100 videos. Done.
That's it, man.
Adam, you're muted, my man.
Adam, you're muted.
It's his
Oh,
first
no.
one. It's his first one.
Yeah. No, I was going to say Bethany from SendSpark. She can help with the video thing.
I know Bethany. Right?
Bethany's so good.
Yeah.
Cool. KD, thank you so much. This was incredible. The audience has been thanking you, saying this is like the most valuable show that we've ever done. It's crazy. Maybe I made that up, but
I'll
me
take
it was. Dude, I was ferociously writing notes the entire time.
I think it was incredible. That was great. Just all actionable. You're a freaking just powerhouse. Sorry when you flew into Denver today. It's so rainy out here. But
Are you in Denver?
I'm in here in Denver. I'm
All right,
close to Golden.
I'm at Hotel Teatro right now.
All right. Let me see what time I can finish it up today.
All right. How do people find you? Right here on LinkedIn? Is this the best place?
LinkedIn's my only social channel. If it weren't for LinkedIn, I wouldn't be on social media. So find me on LinkedIn, y'all. Give me a follow there. If I can help anyone with this or sales leadership or anything else, just let me know. But I appreciate y'all.
KD, thank you so much, man. Thanks for taking the time and making it work.
Later, y'all.
Take care.